The Warriors are going all in on Brandin Podziemski, the team's new gem, to the point of rejecting trades involving Paul George and Lauri Markkanen. That's right, Podziemski has been declared untouchable by the franchise, and the future of Golden State could revolve around him. Could this decision turn the tide for the 2024-2025 season? Stay with us to find out all the details of this bold strategy, but first, subscribe, leave a like, and turn on notifications. Although many have written off the Warriors for the 2024-2025 season, what could happen if they surprise everyone? Steph Curry is still the team's main offensive weapon, but Golden State is also investing in Brandin Podziemski, a promising young player. According to Brian Windhorst on the Hoop Collective podcast, the Warriors are betting big on Podziemski's growth. Their confidence in the player is reflected not only in roster moves, but also in opportunities they passed on. There was strong interest in him on the trade market. The team even considered deals involving names like Paul George and Lauri Markkanen. Despite several reasons preventing these trades from happening, a key factor was the belief that Podziemski is untouchable, as Windhorst pointed out. Additionally, ESPN reported that Podziemski is not the only player the Warriors are putting their trust in. Head coach Steve Kerr faces the challenge of finding a winning formula before the season slips away. Since winning the championship in 2022, Kerr and his team have been trying to balance the use of veterans with the introduction of younger talent. This process has been challenging, especially after last season's early playoff exit and Klay Thompson's departure in free agency. ESPN mentioned that Kerr admitted on several occasions last season that he was uncertain about his roster choices, resulting in constant changes to lineups and rotations. For 2024-2025, establishing a reliable lineup has become one of his top priorities. So the question arises, how far can the Warriors go? For a franchise accustomed to playoff victories and championships, success is measured by the ability to reach the top. The responsibility to bring the team back into title contention falls on Kerr. The Golden State Warriors have built a reputation for success in recent years, establishing a dynasty with stars like Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. While they no longer dominate as they once did, these stars continue to lead the team in pursuit of one more championship, possibly aiming for a final title. Speaking of Curry and Green, one aspect that stands out is their salaries with the Warriors. What are these players earning? Stephen Curry recently signed a contract extension that runs until the 2026-2027 season. When the contract expires, he will be 39 years old and possibly considering retirement, as he has expressed a desire to end his career with the Warriors. Under the new deal, Curry will earn $2.6 million per season, a figure that reflects his status as the franchise's biggest name. Many consider him the greatest shooter in NBA history, and that certainly contributes to justifying his high salary. On the other hand, Draymond Green is a polarizing figure. Last season, he was suspended due to disciplinary issues, but his importance to Steve Kerr's team cannot be ignored. According to ESPN, Green has one of the highest salaries on the team. Although it still falls well below Curry's, he currently earns $24 million a year, a significant amount for someone who plays a vital role in the performance of the San Francisco squad. After Curry's extension, worth a total of $62.6 million, signed at the end of August, attention shifts to Jonathan Kuminga. He is eligible for a 5-year extension, potentially totaling $224 million, and the deadline for this deal is October 21st, one day before the start of the regular season. Kuminga has made it clear that he is seeking a max contract, as reported by Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports last month. Several players selected in the 2021 draft, such as Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, and Franz Wagner, have already secured transformative contracts this offseason. In a recent podcast about key contract issues for the season, ESPN's Zach Lowe expressed doubts about the possibility of a deal with Kuminga before the deadline. "If I were a betting man, I'd say this issue will drag into the next offseason. I'm not sure, but that's what it seems like," said Lowe. "If I were the Warriors, I'd question why they should offer anything close to the max, considering there are no other teams with cap space right now. That's what restricted free agency is for." Lowe's argument makes sense. Why would the Warriors rush into a max deal now when they can wait to evaluate Kuminga's performance? One reason to close the deal early would be to avoid tensions that could arise if the extension doesn't happen. The Warriors have been through a similar situation with Klay Thompson, and it affected team dynamics. However, Kuminga's case is different. Negotiations with him will end after October 21st, while Thompson could have renewed his contract at any time. If no deal is reached, Kuminga will become a restricted free agent next offseason, giving the Warriors more control, unlike what happened with Thompson as an unrestricted free agent. This scenario could lead to dissatisfaction and questions about the franchise's commitment to Kuminga, potentially impacting his performance, as happened with Thompson last season. Now, the Warriors face the tough decision of weighing the pros and cons of a multi-million-dollar extension for Kuminga, especially if his camp insists on a contract exceeding $200 million. The franchise will need to proceed carefully to avoid problems before the season begins. And what about Jimmy Butler? Who wouldn't want a player of his caliber on their team? Rumors suggest the Warriors have already considered a trade for Butler. If this happens, several factors would need to align, and the site Fadeaway has projected how this scenario could play out. Anthony Slater of The Athletic commented that the Warriors' interest in Butler would be a big boost to the team's title chances. However, this negotiation wouldn't be simple. What I hear around the NBA is that the Warriors are monitoring Butler's situation. If he and the Miami Heat part ways, the San Francisco team will certainly be among those interested, said Slater. The proposed trade would include several Warriors players, along with a 2026 draft pick, adding a major dimension to the deal, as draft picks are valuable assets. In the simulation, the Warriors would send Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, Kevon Looney, Gary Payton II, and a first-round pick to the Heat. In return, they would receive Jimmy Butler and Josh Richardson. Is it worth it? For fans, it's important to remember that Curry is already 36 years old, and even with his remarkable performance, it's expected that his output will decline in the coming years due to age. The Golden State Warriors have been trying to add another star to play alongside Curry, but have encountered obstacles. They attempted to acquire LeBron James and Lauri Markkanen, but were unsuccessful. Greg Schwartz of Bleacher Report suggests that Kawhi Leonard of the Los Angeles Clippers would be an ideal addition. When healthy, Leonard is one of the best players in the NBA, as shown by his numbers from last season: 23.7 points and 6.1 rebounds in 34.3 minutes per game, with incredible shooting percentages of 52.5% from the field, 41.7% from three, and 88.5% from the free throw line. The Clippers' decision to re-sign James Harden suggests they are still committed to their current roster for 2024-2025. At the moment, the Warriors aren't considered title favorites, and even a playoff spot isn't guaranteed. While Curry continues to play at a high level, the loss of Klay Thompson and uncertainties about Draymond Green's health complicate the situation. However, bringing in Leonard could change that equation. A defense led by Leonard and Green would be formidable, and offensively, Curry and Leonard would be one of the league's most powerful duos. However, Leonard's injury history is concerning, and with only 3 years left on Curry's contract, the Warriors must be cautious before betting on a player with so many physical questions. We've reached the end of another video. Thanks for staying up to date with Warriors news. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news or updates on the Warriors. Hit the notification bell to stay in the loop. See you next time.